Ben, stay silent until you hear an integrated sport watch better than the Patek Philippe Nautilus.
Okay. I guess I'm ready for this. Let's see.
Girard Perregaux Laureato. Bulgari Octo Finissimo. IWC Angenour. Vacheron Constantin Overseas. H. Moser & C Streamliner. Nope. Audemars Piguet Royal Oak.
For sure.
Okay.
It's like the most iconic integrated sports watch ever.
That's what I thought, right? That's what you gotta.
It's gotta be the jumbo though to be better than the Nautilus, I think.
Yeah.
It's thinner, smaller. The Moser I really wanted to say especially in that blue enamel, like the 39. It's so good, but I thought you were gonna come out and be like Christopher Ward 12 or something.
I could have put like the Chopek Antarctique in there.
The G-Shock Casio.
The Tissot PRX
The
Powermatic
PRX,
80.
Might be better. Better power reserve.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can trade that. All right, welcome to another episode of Wrist Enthusiast Radio. As you can see, we are virtual for the second time. Not because we're all not in New York, because we are all in New York. We are virtual because we don't really have a studio right now, but that will hopefully change. We're working on it.
Yeah.
We're working on it in a few different ways. So, I don't know. Is this news that we can share, Derek, or what is the...
I can share some news, but basically we were recording of the last couple of episodes in my store. So I had like a little room that we made, and we had to change a few things here and there. So you might have seen the scenery change and the mics and the audio. You know, we were getting better and better every recording. But the big news that I guess is not so secret anymore because I already posted it on my story, but my store, we're actually moving locations. We're about to go a few blocks down the street in Flushing. We're still going to be in Flushing, New York, you know, one stop away from Citi Field, Arthur Ashe Stadium. But our lease at our current building ended, so we're going to go to a new location. In the new location, I'm going to build a new studio, new recording, new showroom, everything. So I've been a lot like MIA lately, but we're also going to bring back the podcast in a more proper setting then. So I want to thank all of our listeners who's been able to like hang on, and we're still trying to pump out these episodes, even with the technical difficulties. But yeah, just wait till like the end of, I would say like the end of the year, and then things should be a lot better.
It's gonna be huge, I'll tell you. Huge.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. But one of the things that we are going to do is we have a location that we're going to be using to film a few episodes, so we can all be in person as a big happy family. And then we have some other options about doing kind of some on-location stuff potentially in order to kind of get in person and to get us through the end of the year when we have our new, bright, shiny, amazing studio that, you know, we invest hundreds of thousands of dollars in. No, not really hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Some would say millions. Some would say
millions.
Tens and hundreds of millions of dollars.
There's going to be a lot of
Millions
diamonds
and
in
millions
it. Hundreds
and
of
millions.
diamonds. Hundreds of diamonds in it.
Lots of diamonds. We love gold, I'll tell you. We love it.
That's actually pretty good.
I know.
So that's kind of a preview of what we're going to be talking about, or one of the few things we're going to be talking about. But before we do that, let's see what everyone is wearing. I hope you have a watch on. Sometimes when I'm at home, I forget to put something on. So, Ben, we'll start with you. What are you wearing?
Yeah, I was just wearing this. I didn't even think about putting one on. I probably would have put on a different one. Not that this isn't great. But I am wearing the Bulova Lunar Pilot with the Meteorite. I'll try to put it up to my camera. I first saw this at an event with Complecto, which is a watch group that you can, if you're in New York, you can be a part of it. It's pretty cool. It's like just a different version of Red Bar, essentially. And they had Bulova there, and they had this watch, and I haven't always loved the Lunar Pilot. It's great. It's a great watch, but it never spoke to me on wrist. And I tried this on, loved it. And then I recently asked to have this as a loaner, and it's so cool. It's got a real Meteorite inside, grade 5 titanium, so comfortable. And I think it's just chronograph, very fall. So I'm loving it.
Grade 5 titanium. That's pretty good for that. What's the price point on it?
I did a double take on the article I read, and I'm like, is that actually? Yeah, it is grade 5 titanium. What'd you say? Sorry, price?
What's the price point?
1,500.
Okay, so that's probably why it's a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, that plus the meteorite.
Yeah.
I think the lunar pilot by itself is like 900. So you're paying $600 for the meteorite and the grade 5 titanium, which to be honest, I think is not terrible.
Yeah, we were Ben and I were both at a Bulova premiere last week. Where there's a documentary that they made where they talk about the lunar pilot. So
very cool. And
how it was the private watch of was it the Apollo 15 astronaut?
Yeah, it was. I literally just made a video on it, so I know exactly what it is.
So we can link to that too. But apparently his Speedmaster broke, and he had a Bulova lunar pilot of his own, so he ended up using that while on the moon. So
I looked it up, and I was like, "This is probably BS," because like, there's no way that he just. But then when I'm like, you just had Bulova with them, like, well, even though it was more popular back then, so like what? But then he actually like went on and was like, that was actually the watch. They had the watch. They had pictures of him in it on the moon. It's like, okay, if you believe in the moon landing, you have to believe it.
Yeah. Was there any funny business going on? Because maybe, there's not that many cameras back then. Maybe he kind of had some inside, business with Bulova, kind of stepped on his Speedmaster and, my Speedmaster's broke. I need to use my Bulova lunar pilot.
Yeah, like why?
I'm just saying. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but this is the perfect conspiracy theory for the watch world related to the moon landing.
And the article was interesting. It was like, he wasn't supposed to bring a backup watch, but he decided to. And I was like, what?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Speedmaster? Like,
Bulova execs back in, the 70s were probably like, what would be great if we gave you this watch, you brought it as a backup, and somehow, some way, your Speedy broke and you had to, wear it and use it on the moon, that would be really good for us.
And it sold for $1.6 million, that watch.
Yeah.
Which is
insane.
also crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, nuts.
Regardless, it was on the moon. Regardless of whether there was some inside, dealings going on there or not, it was on the moon. So, it's one of the few actual moon watches. But that's a cool watch. All right, Derek, what are you wearing?
Today, I'm wearing the Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso Dual Face Medium Classic. That name is always so long because it's not the tribute version, it's the classic version. And I got my new strap, the John Rousseau gray alligator strap that I'm wearing on it. So this watch I think I've worn it already on this show, but it's just what I had on today. And I was like, just wanted to wear that again. But to Ben's watch, I think there's another watch we're going to talk about today that also has a meteorite dial and also a chronograph. So I think that'd be kind of cool to like link that two together. But that's what I'm wearing today.
I didn't even think about that.
Okay, nice. And I am wearing the Ren Diver 1 sand dial. It's our new release that we unveiled. We have another one over here that is embargoed. I'll show part of the strap. There, that's your sneak peek.
Lovely. Wow.
I have it. So for the original, the Aqua Dial, we did a black rubber strap in addition to the stainless steel bracelet. But for this one, we're going to offer it on either, in addition to the stainless steel bracelet, on either a white rubber strap or a black rubber strap, because I think it looks good on both. Right. And then the sneak peek is that the other one will be offered. That should be, hopefully we will be releasing information about in the next couple of weeks. That one will be offered on, in addition to the bracelet, either the white rubber strap, the black rubber strap, or a navy blue rubber strap. So that's kind of the hint of where we're going with it.
Question, from the consumer point of view, can you buy the other straps in addition? Like if you bought, let's say you bought the white, but you also wanted the blue and the black, could you buy them? I don't even know the answer to that.
Yeah, so we haven't offered them up for sale separately yet. I want to at least first give some of the people that order the we don't have unlimited quantities at this point of every strap. They are fitted to the case. We did do that. That was very important to me. But I do have ideas of offering the other variations to past buyers, but it won't fit. It will only fit to your Ren Diver one. It won't fit to other watches. So that's kind of the caveat. But we will be also showcasing at Wind Up. So if you're in New York and you want to see some of these watches, the Sand, this one, plus we'll have the Aqua, though we don't really have any for sale. And then the third variation, I think it should be ready for sale by then too. You should stop by and say hello.
Nice. Derek, are you going to be at Wind Up?
I am still debating if I have time to be there, but I really want to go because I know a lot of people are flying into town. Like Tom, Bowl of Salmon, was even asking me. He's like coming from out of country.
Nice.
Max from Watch Crunch is going. He was asking me if I was going. So like, I was like, man, a lot of people are coming into town. It's an easy way to just like see everyone and get together. What date is it again? You guys got to remind me.
It's the 18th. October 18th to 20th, and
Friday to Sunday.
Watch time is the same weekend. So I think a lot of people end up coming because they can kind of hit both events at once. Watch times, for those that don't know, Wind Up focuses on more. It's run by Worn and Wound, the watch blog, but it focuses more on more affordable watches. Oris is kind of the highest priced brand there, so a lot of under 1,000, but then really up to 3, 4, 5,000, where Watch Time tends to be more established legacy brands and be a little bit higher priced. And Oris actually also
does both,
which is kind of crazy. They're at everything. They were in Toronto for the Toronto thing. They're at everything. That's a lot of manpower, I think.
I just had a conversation with Christopher Ward like a couple months ago. They said they might be doing Watch Time too.
Really? Wow.
I didn't see them on the list, but also I don't even think that list is finalized yet. So I actually have no idea.
I was talking to someone and who's from England, and they were saying that a lot of people don't realize this, but Christopher Ward is a huge business now, and they rival the size of Oris in terms of how much money that they're making. I would argue
they're making more money than Oris. That's my take, but who knows?
Well, I don't know, but they're getting very, very big. I think they have partial naming rights for a soccer stadium.
Whoa!
Right?
Yeah, which is something like they're like, I know that they're a shirt sponsor of Everton Football Club in Liverpool. They're a Premier League team, so that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. They've really, in the past 5 years, they've exploded. So good to see. I like them. They're high quality, good watches,
good people. Yeah,
good. Yeah. All right. So today we are talking about some kind of recent watch news. We're going to start with the kind of big news this past week about Donald Trump releasing his own line of watches. Then we're going to kind of get into a newly minted watch collector, Mark Zuckerberg, and then maybe we'll talk about a few new releases that we've seen and liked in the past couple of weeks. So let's start with this Trump watch. Ben, I'll let you kick it off because you did a reel of this that got quoted in the New York Times. So congratulations on your quoting in the New York Times. I still have not been in the New York Times, so I'm a little bit jealous of you. But congratulations, that's crazy and well deserved. But tell us a little bit about Trump's watches.
Yeah, so I got tagged in an Instagram story by Faisal, if you guys know him.
The Atlanta guy?
Yes.
Yes.
And his story, it was just like Trump watches. And I'm like, this is a joke. And then he posted the link. I clicked on it. I was like, I almost thought it was AI. Because if you saw the website, it is just there's no way that he's releasing a $100,000 watch with this $10 drop shipping website. But that's literally what he did.
Let me just do a caveat first that this is not going to be a political, and we're not going to espouse our political beliefs, even if we have them. This is purely based on what we think of the watch, and that is it. So
yeah, what's crazy too is like, that's it. I'll tell you, that's it. But yeah, so he released 2 watches at completely different price points. Yeah. And I talk crap because it's just a terrible watch altogether. But he released a $500 watch, I think it's called the Fight, which has his like Seiko. It's actually not terrible pricing. It's like $500 Seiko, probably Seiko. They don't say, but like what other movements you can put in that's automatic at that price, probably Seiko. And the watch looks whatever.
It could be a Chinese movement, right?
I guess, yeah. I was like, for $500, it's like, okay, whatever. That gets a pass. Like, if you release that. But then he was like, let's release this $100,000 18 karat gold with like 100+ diamonds, tourbillon watch that nobody's ever heard of this movement before. And
the first thing that I noticed was I thought it was had to be a Chinese tourbillon.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah, the quality on that tourbillon looks terrible, especially for the price. It's like he's like competing with actual heavy hitter tourbillons. And then even when I first saw it online, I was like, I thought this was like an old advertisement. I didn't know it like just came out. I thought it was like a joke or like even AI, but I was like, whoa, this is real. And everyone was talking about it. It was so funny.
Yeah. So I had people DMing me being like, so do you think that the $100,000 watch, like if you buy it, it would be worth more after? And I'm like, probably not, because people that are buying that are like watch collectors, but like you never know. He's got a huge audience.
How many are they making? 100?
147.
Oh, because he wants to be the 47th president after being the 45th, right?
I guess that's what it
is. Because Biden's the 46, and then he didn't want to just produce 47 of them, so he had to add 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was at least trying to make $1 million, so he has to do 100 after each 100K.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I have a couple questions. First is, it's just a diver with a tourbillon in it, right? Basically. Do I need to pull this up?
Is it a diver? Wait, let me pull up Trump watch.
I don't know if it's a diver. It definitely has like a diamond bezel. I don't know if you can rotate it. It would be even funnier if one of us could get hands-on with it and do like a follow-up review. That would be like the funniest thing.
But it looks like a Submariner, right? Like it has the same...
definitely has an oyster case and the crown guards.
Yeah, and then like also has like the same hour markers as like a typical
oyster bracelet.
I mean, look, it's probably not actually a dive watch, but it's based on a Submariner, right? So is it actually like full gold, solid gold?
18 karat gold.
It is solid gold. So they actually made a gold case. It's not like gold plated.
No, I had people telling me that that's the case, and when you look it up, it does. I'll even just go to the website. Trump watches. But it said 18 karat gold. And then the amount of gold, if you like 18 karat gold, the spot price of it right now is like $12,500 or something like that, plus like $1,000 for the diamonds, plus like I don't know.
The movement's got to be like
costs.
what $1,000 or something. The tourbillon,
yeah, like that
Chinese tourbillons, or I mean like
15 grand. That's what it costs.
But it's probably less than that because there's like Arcturus, which I did a review of. I actually like the watches very much. They did one with an aventurine dial that's like I think under $2,000 with a Chinese tourbillon. So, and I've seen them for under $1,000 Chinese tourbillon watches. And the fact that this is not Swiss made, I mean, I think tells you what you need to know about this tourbillon.
I mean, you can see the case back movement on the website listing, and the finishing is terrible. It even says Trump on like the mainspring, which is really funny. It says Trump, and it's like the most basic Arial font. Again, this is not political. This is not anything of our views of anything in that nature. We're just a watch channel, so we have to talk about it. But this is just so funny. It's so funny.
What it reminded me of, it reminded me of this, and then I think you said something about it. I think Mike Nouveau said something about it. So apparently all of us watch people are kind of on the same wavelength here. It reminded me of the Brick Watch Co. by Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports. Kind of someone that's not in the watch space coming in and thinking, oh, watches have been popular lately. Like, let me try and do something here. And at least within the community, in terms of quality, it not being met with the highest regard. And obviously, as Derek said, this is irrespective of what you think of Trump as a candidate or person or anything like that. We're not getting into that. We're just talking about this watch as a watch.
As a watch, it's terrible. As a watch, it is. I also like, for me, I was like, it was so interesting that they were pre-ordered.
Yeah.
I'm like, you would just make them all. But
yeah,
No,
especially
he
like
needs you to pay for it first, and then he can make it, and then it'll take 6 to 12 months, however long it's going to take. Or maybe it's just waiting in a warehouse somewhere, and they're just going to put the stamp on it once you
yeah, that was
once
the
you
other
click
thing.
purchase.
It says like delivery October, November, December, and like Craig, I know you know because you did some pre-orders. That takes a lot longer than 2 months to push these out, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah, it depends, right? Like we had a ton of delays, and you know, one of the things that, and look, we're just starting, like pretty much all of the watches have been delivered now, and we're getting very good feedback, which has been a big relief. Every time I get an email, I'm worried that, so is there an issue with the watch? But our feedback has been overwhelmingly positive, and people have said to me, now I understand why you had these delays. You were making it perfect. And so, if you don't necessarily care about making things the best possible and you just kind of accept the first iteration of whatever is brought to you, maybe you could do it in that short period of time, especially the thing is, I don't think they're using, at least for the vast majority of the watches, a case that is, they're using a standard case that I think, a lot of brands and cheap brands probably throw their logo onto. And so there's nothing like super custom about it. So you're not going to be hit with as many delays when the only thing you really need to do is, paint the logo onto it.
Yeah.
And maybe with the tourbillons, I don't know if the molds are the same, because I don't think anyone is making a solid gold watch with like those molds, right? Those molds, that watch is typically a cheap steel watch with, maybe gold plating. And I don't know if the molds are actually the same for the gold watch versus, I know like titanium molds are going to be different than steel molds, because we're looking into some. Yeah.
I just saw something crazy on September 30th. Recording right now. The Onyx Gold Tone, the cheaper one of them, is sold out.
Onyx Gold Tone.
So they had they had two like
the $500 one.
Yeah, this one was like $700-800. It was like, this one was limited to 1,000 officially. They sold that one out.
Wow.
But that I get. There's enough people that he could sell 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, like a $500 watch, I still think it's probably expensive for the quality. I think this is like, an under $100 Alibaba special in terms of quality. But you're not necessarily buying the watch to buy the watch. You're buying the watch because you want to, support Trump and, you like Trump. And that's why you're buying that $500 watch, right? At least you're, if you're like kind of donating to his campaign, at least you're getting something out of it, I guess.
There are a lot of people that like having that apart, like whether it's like wearing the hat or having the flag. I feel like this is just another thing that's like, we want to have.
That, like, okay, that I get. The whole idea of the $100,000 watch is a little bit more baffling to me, because I'm not sure who is buying that unless like Elon Musk buys all 100 of them or something.
Or it's like a 200 IQ, like let's release this crazy one. The media will talk about it, but then we'll have this $500 one that everyone will buy because everyone hears about it.
I think that might be the move. I think that's what
they
the
may not even release
here.
any. They may not sell any and don't even care because they don't have to make it.
Yeah,
right?
because
they don't
if
have to make it.
No one pays for the pre-order, then there's no point to actually make it. So Actually, Ben, I think that's like spot on the money with your theory that they put the tourbillon out there. If someone orders it, it's like a win-win. If someone orders it, they've just made, X amount, 100 times whatever they paid for it. And if they don't make it, everyone's going to talk about it because it's so wildly expensive for a watch of that quality.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Like, they suckered everybody in, including us, into talking about it.
All right, Craig. So, Craig, so what do you learned here? You're gonna make a 100,000 Ren Diver 2, and then you'll release
Yes.
and then you'll release a more affordable version on the side.
It's gonna be a minute repeater tourbillon. I just don't think I have the cachet yet. Just have like AI produce an image for me and tell them that this is the watch that we're producing, the Ren Diver.
It's probably what he did.
Tourbillon minute repeater.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nobody bought it. We don't have to produce it, but everyone's talking about our other watch too.
That's how you make money.
Okay, look, if
also,
that's the case, that's pretty good marketing. I can't knock it.
Exactly.
In their movement specifications, they put mainspring torque, which I don't think I've ever seen as a stat on a watch movement. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've ever seen that.
Well, I know that.
What is the mainspring torque that they put there? What is like this exact?
700
like a number?
grams per millimeter.
Well, yeah, I've never seen. Yeah, mainspring torque. I feel like they're just putting
Everyone
things together
asks
just
for
to
me
make it
in my
sound
review.
like.
Well, hold on. I wonder if there's like any communication between like Portnoy's team and Trump's team about starting a watch brand, because one of the things that watch people kind of noticed about Portnoy's website is they basically just copied Omega's website. It was just basically lifted from Omega's website. So by adding things like mainspring torque, that's not, I don't think, on any website. So you're definitely putting your own website together there. I don't know.
Wait, did you guys read his disclaimer at the bottom of the website? It says Trump watches are not designed, manufactured, distributed, or sold by Donald J. Trump. And it says the company that actually makes it is called the Best Watches on Earth LLC, uses the Trump name, image, and likeness under a paid license agreement. Yeah, that's at the bottom of the page. So yeah, that's basically
he's getting like a royalty, right? Probably.
Yeah,
is it a license or a royalty?
He must be. He's also in the video when they talk about the $100,000 one. So I don't even.
Yeah, and how it has like hundreds of diamonds.
Wait, now the video's not here. Now I can't find the video.
It was all a fever dream. It never actually happened. What is it? The Streisand effect or something?
Oh yeah,
we all believe it happened, but it didn't actually happen.
The one for the cheaper one video is still there, but the more expensive one video is gone.
That just lends credence to your idea that it was just a way to get us to talk about it.
Exactly. Oh, and then they just came out with a new limited edition. Sorry, I'm seeing
because the first one sold, right? Like they're gonna keep on selling them if they sell out.
This one has a Pepsi bezel and is full gold. Obviously,
is it
GMT?
Yeah,
I saw that one.
Yeah, I think.
Is it an actual GMT though?
But when you click pre-order now, it goes to like a error 404 page.
Page not.
It's $799, which is again not bad for the price of what you get. It looks like it has a ceramic bezel too, like the way it looks.
Is it an actual GMT though, or just have a Pepsi bezel, like a two-tone bezel?
It says it has a 24-hour bezel.
I also don't believe that these will be sold.
So it's not a GMT. It's just you can track a second time zone.
No. There's a third hand.
Oh, there
I think it's what we call a caller GMT. So you would set the date window and the GMT hand like normal, like a quick set date.
Mm-hmm.
But not like a traveler GMT. We can jump the hour. There's no way at this price point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, we sold out our 100 of our Aquas, and now I'm getting emails about people. Oh, I missed out on it. I want more. Like, I want it. And then I kind of put a feeler out of whether we can do a titanium version, and a customer basically said, "Oh, well, I don't know about that because it'll make me feel like mine is less rare." And so there's a lot of, wanting to continue to sell something that's sold out. So I understand them now releasing another variation. But at the same time, I don't think people are buying it because they want the watch as much as they want, a Trump watch. So
This is also the best one with the red, white, and blue. This is what they should have started with.
Honestly, I think that's the best looking one.
okay.
Oh, and
I mean, that's like the best use of using the red, white, and blue. Like what's it called? The day nighttime Pepsi bezel, like red, white, and blue. That's,
Yeah.
it's clever. And
Yeah,
with the
man.
whole all gold, I think that one will sell out too.
For sure. For sure.
And they'll just keep on doing new limited editions, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay, well, Trump watches. There you have it. So the next thing we want to talk about is, so I've done in the past a lot of kind of celebrity watch spotting, and I know Ben has done as well. And one thing I know, I jokingly a few years ago, because I was posting images of celebrities and what watches they were wearing, posted Mark Zuckerberg wearing it was one of those like bands that you wear to get into like an event, because because he'd never been photographed wearing a watch. Like I spent hours looking for Mark Zuckerberg wearing a watch, and he never wore one. But Mark Zuckerberg has been kind of going through this, style change recently, maybe seeming like a little bit less robotic and a little bit cooler. He's, I think, into like taekwondo or boxing or something.
Jiu-jitsu, I think it is.
Jiu-jitsu, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
But he was at, what is it? Anant Ambani's?
Anant Ambani. Yeah.
His wedding a few months ago, and I think he showed him some RM that he had, and I think it was the RM S10 Asia Tourbillon Koi Fish edition, maybe. And Zuckerberg was really interested in it, and you flash forward to maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he's wearing a Patek. I think it was a salmon dial Patek. Which one was it? I have it somewhere. A 50.
Perpetual? I think it was.
No, it was the 5236P. Inline perpetual calendar, and it wasn't clear whether it was a salmon dial or the blue dial, but I think it was on a brown leather strap, which indicates it probably was a salmon dial, because that's what the salmon dial comes on. And then the past like week or two, I've seen him wearing a Journe with the Havana, the Octa, was it the Souverain Havana?
He wore the Centigraph when he presented the new Meta glasses thing.
And he wore I think a Souverain Havana. A chronometer Souverain Havana.
Everyone was like if you go to Mark Zuckerberg's Instagram, when he's presenting some of the new like AI features like translation, everyone's like talking about the FP Journe Centigraph Sport on his wrist.
Yeah, he's worn the Havana Souverain. He's worn a JLC. I'm seeing Master Ultra Thin Kingsman knife.
Oh, that's a really cool piece. That's like a time only. Yeah. Well, that's pretty nice.
He's gone so deep so quickly. I've never seen someone kind of go from having no interest in watches to having such a heavy-hitting collection in the matter of weeks.
Well, I guess that's what happens when you have everything in the world you could possibly want, and you're like, I have all the boats, all the cars, everything. Oh, I could just buy watches.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll just go crazy.
What do we think?
It's funny too, because so the CEO of Instagram, I don't know if you guys follow him, and I'm totally blanking. Mosseri.
Adam Mosseri. He's a big watch guy.
Yeah, so he's the head of
Yeah.
He had a crash.
Instagram.
Or what?
Facebook also owns Instagram, so he's also a huge watch guy who I always spot like Patek Philippe crowns on his videos, like whenever he talks
Yeah.
to creators. And now Mark Zuckerberg, maybe there was some kind of connection there. They were like talking, and he kind of like passed the watch bug over to Mark Zuckerberg. I also thought I saw Mark Zuckerberg wearing a Debethune. I don't remember the exact model, but I remember people were talking about that too. But it's clear
That
that
seems like a very Zuckerberg type watch.
yeah. But it seems like he's really caught on to the watch bug, and I think it'll be fun to ask you guys, what do you think he will pick up next? Like, what would be kind of cool to see him wearing?
That's what I was going to ask. I think like an MBNF, like a horological machine, because he's always into like meta AI and all of this like augmented reality and everything, and so kind of the Debethune kind of hits on that kind of futuristic looking watch, but I think MBNF also hits on that, and kind of you got that kind of like space out, like futuristic look. And I think a horological machine, I'm not sure which one, maybe was it called the Space Pirate with the shield that protects against UV, the tourbillon against UV
He's 100% picking up an RM, like 100%. It's gonna happen with that whole hype beast thing he's portraying now.
Yeah,
I feel like it's only a matter of time.
What do you think, Derek?
I think it would be cool because once you mentioned the futuristic thing, I was like, that would be so cool if he was wearing a Ming, like with all that lume on the dial. It's like something a lot more niche, independent watchmaking. Like I'm just on Ming's page right now, and they have the new Ming 2001 Series 3. It's like it looks like a GMT with a ton of lume all over the crystal. I could see him wearing something more obscure like that too.
Yeah, and I mean, I would love to see that. He seems to be going more towards more mainstream brands for right now. I mean, Debethune is I guess technically is independent, but they're pretty big at this point. So it would be cool to see him kind of support independent watchmaking, especially a brand like Ming. I want to say, Mark, if you somehow are listening to this, or someone that has Mark's ears listening to this,
yeah, that's great.
We would love to bring you on the pod to talk about your watch collecting, and we will come out to LA or wherever you are, or I guess it's where is Facebook's offices? They're in Silicon Valley. We'll come out to Silicon Valley to interview you. So give us an exclusive, Mark. That'd be crazy, right? You guys would come, right?
Yeah, get him in a Ren Diver 1.
I would be there for that. But Craig, you didn't extend this warm welcome to Trump when he made his watches.
I'm not getting political. If Trump wants to come on the pod, he can come on the pod. I'm not going to say no to. I don't say no to anyone.
That would
anyone
be like
that
the
wants
most
to come on.
random
Trump,
collaboration
Kamala,
ever.
Trump, Kamala, anyone, come on to our pod. You are all welcome.
Yeah, he would change a lot of votes. Being all right.
I don't think either of them coming onto our pod is changing anybody's opinion.
No, but getting them on the pod would get views. That's for sure.
Yes. So Trump,
crazy.
Kamala, if you collect, I think I've seen her wearing like a Cartier before. Mark Zuckerberg, especially. If you want to talk watches, having that outlet to talk about it now that you have these crazy watches, I think is something that every watch collector wants. So we're the place.
Oh yeah, and if you come, you have to gift us one of them. That's the rule.
No, you're really making it so that he doesn't come.
No, I mean, he can't be like, if you come, just fine. We all get an FP Journe Centograph.
Okay,
that's the rules.
That's the rules. Mark, those are the rules, but don't listen to him.
Oh, yeah.
So, do you want to talk about some new releases?
Yeah, let me bring up another. So the release I alluded to earlier. So Hodinkee and Zenith just came out with their new triple calendar Chronomaster with the El Primero movement, and this time it has a Meteorite dial. So just like Ben wearing the Bola
that has a Meteorite dial?
Like the subdials have Meteorite
in the
on
subdials.
it. Yeah.
I did not even notice that when I was looking at it. I didn't get a chance to read the article. Now I'm going to Hodinkee's Instagram to. Oh, it is Meteorite.
Yeah, if you look
was
at
like,
it
this
really
looks like the-
closely,
Yeah.
yeah, you have to like zoom into the subdials, and then you can see the texturing
Yeah.
on these subdials, which is really cool. It's cool because they're literally playing on the word and the idea of zenith, like to the stars, and like taking a rock, a meteorite from the stars to create this dial. I think it's a really handsome looking piece. I almost think that like Zenith could have done it on their own as well, but no doubt it's a great collaboration. It's another great design that they've done together.
What's
I
the
would
price on it?
argue- It's like 12,500.
Okay.
I think I think it's like just under 13.
Has it sold out?
No.
I think I read somewhere that
Less than
Hodinkee is getting the first 75, and then the remaining is going to Zenith's ecom website or something like that to be
Okay.
sold. So
Got it.
I don't think it's sold out yet because it is a little bit of a higher price point. But it is that whole collection, like when Zenith brought back the triple calendar, has been like really, it's a really cool thing because not a lot of brands can make their own complete calendar and a chronograph and then put it together in a watch and then make it like wearable. You know, usually it's easy to make it like super thick, but this one's still in 38 millimeters. It's a little thicker. I think it's like 13 or 14, but like at 38 millimeters, it feels a lot better than you would expect.
The triple calendar is such a good looking watch. When they re-released it, so I don't think it was ever released, right? Until they released it this year or this year,
January,
right? It was
right?
it was just a wasn't it just a prototype before that?
I think so. I don't remember the exact history with the triple calendar, but I know Zenith has had other triple calendar chronographs before. It's not the first time. It might be
Yeah.
because like I know someone I interviewed before on my own channel, Alan. He actually has like the prototype recreation where they had like a gray dial with the Zenith star on like the 10 and 2 o'clock. And then that had a triple calendar, but that was in a 41 millimeter or 42 millimeter. So this might be the first time they've done it in 38. So already really compact size and an impressive movement. And they used the latest 1/10 of a second high beat movement inside as well.
Wow.
This one's 13.5, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'm
13.5.
on it. I still would argue, though, like with the Meteorite dial, triple calendar, all things, like this has to be one of the best value chronographs from like a major brand. That might be a hot take, but like, what's
Yeah, I mean,
at that price? That's really good. Meteorite dial, like rarity aside.
it has like a reverse panda look to it. I don't know if it technically is, but I would call it a reverse panda, even with the Meteorite, because the Hodinkee loves the vintage look in their collaborations, and this is really vintagey and looks really nice. This thing's gonna beat up well. Like when you have all those scratches over the bracelet, it's gonna look great.
Does it come with the leather strap? Do you guys know, or is you have to? Get
I'm not sure.
I think it's I've only seen it on the bracelet, so I would assume it's just a bracelet model. But this
They
watch
had
itself
pictures of
looks
it in
good on
leather.
straps.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a picture on the website of it in a strap, so I just couldn't figure. Yeah, I like it a lot. I tried to get my hands on it, and I couldn't. I was like, can I come to the office and like make a video with it? Because I think it's sick. But I didn't get a response
Yeah.
one day.
One day. You're not that level yet, apparently.
I guess another release, the one I liked was the new Reversos.
Yes.
Have you guys both had hands-on with all of them?
No. So I was invited by JLC to, I think, the same class that you did. But I was in Japan, so unfortunately, I could not make it. But I saw a lot of photos and videos of all of you guys having a lot of fun there and also trying them on. So it's funny, my contact at JLC just messaged me on WhatsApp in the middle of this podcast. So they must know that we're talking about them.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So I have not seen it yet. I've only seen in photos. It's the Tribute Monoface. Is that it?
Yeah, they had the. I think it's. I don't know the exact title of it, but
Yeah.
it's like the throwback size thin. Released it in blue on blue, and then a
Yeah.
white dial, the silver dial, which I fell in love with.
Yeah.
And then they had two others which were like at my price range, so I just didn't care as much. I was like, what, whatever.
Okay,
But
so I'm wearing a
so good.
Reverso today, so I can kind of talk
Yeah.
Yeah.
to it. I haven't seen the new Reverso tributes that we're looking at right now, but my size is already considered the medium size. It's like lug to lug is like 43 millimeters. So then that's lug to lug, not the case size itself. So it wears really compact. This Reverso tribute that came out is a little bit smaller. It's actually a 40 millimeters. So it's like lug to lug 40. It's gonna wear even smaller than the one I'm wearing, and I already think this size is like amazing. I think it's cool. The Reverso tribute is always. I feel like a lot of people like the tribute dials more than the classic dial, which is what I'm wearing, which has the Arabic numerals. The
Yeah.
only thing is, I kind of wish it was a dual face. Like I love this, but I want the dual face complication on it because I'm not someone who will flip it over to just hide my dial. But that's just me. At
Yeah.
least that's how I feel. I'm sure there's some people who agree with that too. Um, how did the cream dial look? Is that cream or silver dial? Because it looks like an
Maybe
opaline
it
color.
looks silver. Maybe it's called cream. But I loved the way that the hour markers like shimmered against the silver. Like I put it on my wrist, and the strap's the strap. You could change that. But like I was just blown away. Like I didn't want to take it off.
Yeah.
Like it really was that nice.
So my question is, and this is kind of getting into the weeds of the Reverso collection. Derek, you may be able to answer this. Um, are there any that have the tribute dial on one side and the traditional dial on the other side
Like a
as a
classic
dual
dial
face?
and a tribute? I don't think
Yeah.
so. Like to my memory, right now there's a tribute. There's like what I have, like a tribute with a dual time, but the other side
Yeah.
is similar format, so it's not going to have the classic dial. It's usually like blue and then white dial on the other side. JLC also
Yeah.
used to make the tribute Reverso dual face, the one that I'm wearing, but in this size, like years ago, like 2013, like at least 10 years ago. So they used to make the blue dial dual face in this exact size, but they discontinued that, and so they only make the larger sizes. And then everything else in tribute, like I believe the Reverso tribute chronograph, that's all tribute dials, but nothing has a classic dial
Yeah.
on the other side.
Is
And
that
I can't
too
think of it
rule
in
breaking
ladies
for
either.
them? Is
Say
that
that
too
again?
rule breaking for them? Is that too rule breaking for them, or do you think that's something we might see in the future? I don't know.
Sorry, no, okay, I heard you the fourth time, but um, no, but I don't think that's too rule breaking. I feel like I don't know why they don't do it, but maybe it's just not interesting enough to them to do it that way. I'm sure they've mocked it up before, because usually anytime we see a watch and we're like, why didn't they do it this way? Most brands have mocked it up the way we thought of, but for some whatever reason, they ended up going with what the final product was. I think monoface is just safer because people can engrave it and do stuff with it, but I like dual face stuff. I also saw that they came out with the Reverso Tribute Dual Face Tourbillon, which looks really cool, but knowing this watch, I know it definitely wears kind of large. I'm sure this is like the same size as the
It's
Tribute
large.
Chronograph, right?
Hold on. Is it more expensive or less expensive than the Trump Tourbillon?
I gotta look up
Less.
the price.
99% sure.
Just had to ask.
I just googled do JLC reversos. Oh, this is a review of the mid-size steel ones.
Oh, it's a Tribute. No, they don't put their price on their website. It says price available upon request. That's something we have to ask
Okay.
them for that, and it's in stainless steel, so it's got to be.
probably
It's still got to be like it's got to be close to at least 100K still. Like
Could be like 80 or 90.
in steel, maybe it would
I'm
be
ju-
just underneath. That would be crazy if it's underneath the Trump watch tourbillon.
Oh, by the it's not silver, it's not cream, it's white actually,
That's just white.
which I didn't
But
really
that-
notice.
Yeah.
I need something a little bit different than what I already have. And I've noticed I've been to two weddings the past couple weeks, and one coming up, and like showing up in like a suit. Like I just really like a Reverso. Just even in like what I'm wearing right now, Reverso looks so. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's so good. And I can't get behind. I'm not the biggest Cartier guy. I love the Santos, so I think that's my play. But we just have to wait.
You know, that's actually part of the reason why I picked up my JLC Reverso last year, is because last year Cartier came out with the Tank Normal skeleton, and I thought that looked so sick. But you know, the price point on that was like $80K, and in platinum. And then I was like thinking like, well, I could get a JLC in steel with dual face and have like this cool complication as well, and that would be around $13K, and that would like make me pretty happy too. And this watch is probably my most worn watch of this year already, 2024.
Okay.
And it's not
It's
even, it's not something I
podcast.
wear in every, like when I'm only wearing dress clothing. Like I wear casual clothing and it just looks good by itself.
Yeah. And you
It's
could
sick.
throw the Reverso on kind of like a vintage style leather strap, and it kind of makes it a little bit more casual, I
You
think.
can literally put any strap on this watch. Also, like a bracelet works too, just because the space between the lugs is flat, so you don't have like a weird gap. I put it on like a Milanese mesh bracelet before, and it fills in pretty nicely too. I wish JLC made a bracelet for this style, like a brick bracelet, like all brush finish or something. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But right now they don't have anything like that. Okay, so Ben's gonna pick up a JLC. That would be really cool to
Probably.
see.
Well, that would be cool, but I have to move some pieces around to make that happen. But
All right, guys. I think that's it.
everything.
I think that's it.
I don't have anything else. I'm just staring at this Reverso right now.
Okay. On that note, as Ben stares lovingly at the Reverso off screen, we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.